Egypt may be known for ancient treasures and rich history, but there is more to this nation than you might expect. From surreal waters and golden sand beaches to remarkable architecture and natural therapies, Egypt is worthy of your bucket list. Here are some of the top reasons that make Egypt your next destination. The best time to visit Egypt is between October and April, when daytime temperatures are comfortable and nights are cool, but you are still guaranteed sun. The conditions are perfect for exploring chaotic Cairo or venturing into the desert. As a mostly dry country, Egypt is blessed with lots of sunshine and very little rain. The hottest months are June through August, and the coolest is January. Rainfall is almost non-existent, except on the coast, and when it does happen, it's between December and March. Highs can reach 40 degrees Celsius during summer, which can be quite demanding in crowded streets and souks, but great for snorkeling off the beaches of Sinai. When to beat the heat and the crowds, tourists come in flocks between November and February, but visiting just outside these months and spring, March, April, or autumn, September, or October is ideal if you want to dodge intense heat and large crowds, but when it's better, spring or autumn. If you can take your pick, autumn is generally better as spring brings the calm scene. And this is a hot sand wind occurring irregularly in the first half of the year. Don't let it put you off, though it's not a constant sandstorm, but relatively short blasts that can last a few hours. But can you visit Egypt during Ramadan? As a predominantly Islamic country, Ramadan is one of the most significant events. Held over months, the dates change each year. Ramadan is a time of spiritual rejuvenation. Fasting occurs from sunrise to sunset, and restaurants, cafes, and markets may reduce the opening hours. Non-Muslims aren't expected to observe the fast, but you should exercise common sense like avoiding drinking and snacking in the street. Despite a bit of disruption and a slower pace, it's an eye-opening and fulfilling cultural experience. You will witness hundreds or thousands of worshippers visiting local mosques for evening prayers before taking to the streets to enjoy iftar or the breaking of the fast meal. You may also get to experience Eid al-Fitr, a lively 3-day festival to celebrate the end of Ramadan. When to visit to cross the Nile? Cruising the Nile means river breezes and cooler temperature all the year. Right? Think again. Some places you will visit, like Luxor and Aswan, get mighty hot in the depths of summer, often to reach 45 degrees Celsius, 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Most cruise vessels are air-conditioned, but some old-school feluccas rely on Mother Nature's air conditioning. Some high-end boats have pools, which is ideal for hot afternoons cruising past the sun-baked landscape. Considering the facilities on your boat and your tolerance to heat, but as a rule of thumb, spring and autumn provide the ideal temperature to experience one of the world's most iconic rivers. Here we provide for you a month-by-month guide. January is best for great weather and exploring the sights. January is the coolest month. Daytime highs linger in the low 20s and sunshine is plentiful, so it's excellent time to explore ancient sites or produce busy souks without melting in the heat. Evenings and early mornings can be chilly, so you will need a warm fleece and a scarf. Northern Egypt is usually cooler, and storms occasionally hit the Sinai Peninsula. But it's rare. Just note that January is the height of the peak season, so expect strongest of tourists and longer views. Then February is best for comfortable temperatures, a possible sun festival. Great weather rolls into February with slightly warmer temperature when the sun goes down, so you will still need warm layers for the evening. It is still swamped with tourists, but the weather lends itself to exploring pyramids and Luxor temples. February is one of the coldest months in Europe, so any Egypt trip could be the perfect way to get some winter sun. If you time it well, you could align your trip with a possible sun festival, a biannual event at the Temple of Ramses II on 22 February and October. The ancient architects of this incredible temple designed it so that for only 2 days the sun would align perfectly to illuminate the temple's holiest and usually dark chambers. For March, it's best for comfortable weather. Seeing crowds, March is warmer than January and February, but not so hot that you will sweat buckets. As a shoulder month, you will have fewer tourists to share the wonders of Egypt's ruins with and fewer floating heads in your service. Scamacine is a hot, dry wind. Usually starts in March and can occasionally cause sandstorms. Bear in mind that it can get rather dusty and your travel plans may be disrupted. So be prepared to change your plans for a day or two. For April, it's best for dwindling crowds, enjoying the coast, sham in the sea. While still considered spring, things start heating up in April, and you can expect a daytime highs between a purple 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Scamacine is still blowing, though it's not as intense as March, with rising temps and crowds thinning out even more. It's an ideal time to head for the coast to enjoy slightly quieter beaches and snorkeling. You might also get to experience Sham Sea, which is celebrated by all faiths in Egypt. Join locals to welcome the arrival of spring by feasting on salted fish, painting eggs, and playing games along the Nile. May is best for exploring Aswan crossing the Nile. May sees hot, sunny days and balmy evenings. With the wind calming down and temperatures yet to peak, it's a great month to head to Aswan, Egypt's southernmost city, to explore the beautiful temple of Isis, the goddess of health, marriage and wisdom, and learn about Nubian village life. From here, you can jump aboard or felucca, and felucca is a traditional Egyptian sailing boat in order to sail down the iconic Nile. There aren't usually as many boats in the water in May, so you will get front row seats to the sunset. June is best for fewer tourists enjoying the Red Sea coast. June marks the start of the sweltering summer heat. The sun can be oppressive during the day, with temperature heading 35 to 40 degrees Celsius. If you don't mind waking up earlier to explore and getting sweaty, the upside is that there will be fewer tourists at the pyramids, Valley of Kings, and other famous landmarks. For a reprieve from the heat, head to the glittering waters of Hurghada on the Red Sea coast, where you will find slightly cooler towns and a light sea breeze. Just be prepared for it to be busy. For July is best for Eid al-Adha, small crowds and minimal queues. Sweat-inducing temps continue in July, so perhaps steer clear if you don't cope well with the heat. That being said, you may enjoy a July trip if you want to discover all the must-see sites, which are usually swarming with tourists. It's one of the quietest month. It's best to wake up early and make the most of the evenings when the temperature drops. July is also an interesting time to be in Egypt with Eid al-Adha, Feast of Sacrifice, a major 4-day Islamic festival involving prayers and meat feasts. For August is best for history buffs wanting to soak up the magic of Egypt. August is hot, like really hot, and so it's one of the quietest months with practically no queues at all the landmarks and the museums. You can take your time and don't need to worry about holding up the line when you get fixated on something fascinating. It will happen a lot. Just note that August is the peak season for domestic travelers, but they usually flock to the beaches and resorts along the coast. For September is best for diving and snorkeling, Coptic New Year, Milad and Nabawi. The summer heat subsides in September, especially towards the end of the month, and domestic holidays hit home. My September marks the start of the best snorkeling and diving conditions. Head to the Red Sea Mine Park in Hurghada, where you will have the opportunity to snorkel one of the magnificent reefs. It's also a busy month in the events calendar, with Muslims celebrating Milad and Nabawi, a public holiday held in the honor of the Prophet Muhammad's birthday, and Christians celebrating Coptic New Year celebration of Matthias. For October is best for snorkeling, Kora with a simple sun festival. Crowds begin arriving at the end of the month, but it's not too packed. The southern regions might still be too hot for folks unaccustomed to the heat. For an immersive cultural experience, head to the Siwa Oasis for the Full Moon Harvest Festival, where you will witness dancing, chanting, and a nighttime prayer circle. October also sees the second event of the biannual Abu Simbel Sun Festival at the Temple of Ramses. For November is best for snorkeling, Cairo International Film Festival, Arab Music Festival. Things are in full swing again. Now that the weather is more manageable, the conditions are perfect for long days, exploring historic sites or getting lost in Cairo's maze-like streets. It's a blasting time to be in Egypt, with the Cairo International Film Festival attracting worldwide film lovers. Also, music buffs might like the Arab Music Festival at the Cairo Opera House. December is best for night cruises, a lively atmosphere exploring in comfortable terms. December is one of the busiest months in Egypt. It's not too hot during the day, nights are cool and the streets are buzzing. Despite the masses of tourists, there is loads going on and transport and activities are generally more accessible than other times of the year. Whether you want to lounge on the beach, ride camels through the desert, or cruise down the Nile, you can do it all in December. And finally, we want to thank you for your support through your subscriptions to our YouTube channel and also pressing like for the video, in addition to following us on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Wish you all the best.